Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Mines and Money London here 2019, and with me here is now Prime Mining and Andrew Bowering, the President and CEO of the company, wants to give us for the first time an insight into his company. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Jochen. Thank you very much. Pleased to be here.
Thanks for taking the time. And Prime Mining, what is the company about? Maybe you give us a short overview what you are doing.
Prime Mining's a collection of seasoned mine builders, successful capital markets entrepreneurs, and some locals from Mexico that have all come together to build a new near gold term producer within the next 2 years.
Wow, near gold term producer, we like that, of course. But the company is quite new. You listed, I think, in September it was, yeah?
That's correct. We came public on September 3rd with a $8.7 million financing and a new gold asset in Mexico.
Fantastic, okay. Before we come to the project, I think you have a quite unique approach how you finance the company, and also is that correct that you are not taking even a salary?
That's correct. I have $3.5 million of my own money into the company at the current levels that shareholders would buy it at, and I don't take a salary or accrue a salary. I work for the shareholders and I work for my equity.
Fantastic.
And I'll also tell you that the entire executive team and those that take a salary in our corporate structure all swap their first year's salary for equity in the company at 30 cents a share.
Wow, that's really unusual, to be honest. So you really must believe what you are doing there. You are not dreaming on it. You are living it with the heart and the blood, right?
We are. It's a really good asset.
Super.
It's a really good asset.
Perfect. Then let's talk about the asset. Why is the asset so good? What have you done so far? What's up there?
The asset's been looked at for 25 years. It's been studied to death. It's had 20 million US spent on it. It's gone all the way through PFS. It's gone through PEA twice. It's had 495 drill holes. Whoa. It's had MET testing. Okay. It's had bulk sampling. And every time, gold prices have derailed it. It got derailed at $250 gold, and it got derailed when gold fell $400 an ounce from 2011 to 2014.
Okay.
So.
Wow, that's hefty. So you collected over $8 million, you told me, in that IPO, let's call it the initial raise, so a lot of money in the cash, in the bank, yeah. So what are the next plans? What do you want to do in, let's say, Q1, Q2 next year?
Well, right now we have 4 geology teams working on the property to do a bunch of surface trenching, and there is already a well-established 43101 compiled and filed gold resource. There's 530,000 ounces of gold there now and 10 million ounces of silver.
Nice.
Well defined.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of missing surface data to reduce your strip ratios, add more ounces, and so we have 4 teams doing some surface work. We have a team in Vancouver. We own our own software. We own MineSight from Hexagon, and we're modeling the program, modeling a new resource now. We have a team in Idaho, and I'd really like to speak about that in a minute, that's doing all the engineering.
Okay.
And then we have a team out of Mazatlan that's doing the permitting. There's a lot going on at the same time.
Exactly. Everything is going parallel, like I would call it. So, okay, let's, before we come to Idaho, what is then, let's say, the main game for next year? Is it like a feasibility study or pre-feasibility? What's going on?
Resource calculation in the next 45 days, a PEA to PFS levels, so a feasibility study coming in April of 2020.
That's fast.
Yes, and then a production announcement within a month or 2 after that, and then we'll wait for the permit, which in Mexico is 12 to 14 months. When we get that permit, we're going to start construction.
Okay, fantastic. Can you comment a little bit already, how much money do you think it will cost to go in production? I mean, I know it's a bit too early, maybe it's a forward-looking statement for the regulators, but you must have a game plan because you know exactly what you are doing. So I suspect that you have a clear game plan in your mind.
I do, and to get into that though, I need to tell you that the people in this company, Dan Koons is our executive chair. Dan Koons was a storied career, the CEO of Ivanhoe Mines, CEO of MK Gold, built Castle Mountain in California, built American Girl. Our COO is Greg Liller. He built Ocampo at Gammon Gold from the first drill hole all the way through the 12,000 tons a day open pit and 2,400 tons a day underground. He built Uvio de Oro, Magistral, and El Cubo. The guys behind this company have built a lot of mines, and a lot of them in Mexico. We know what we're doing there. as a result, we're going to build a gold mine in the next 24 months. And Mexico is one of those places where you can permit a mine at the same time that you can do your mining plan.
Oh, okay.
You can't do that in a lot of other places.
Super.
Mexico, you can.
Okay, that's interesting. So what's up with that group in Idaho? What is so important there?
Well, Dan Coons, as CEO of Ivanhoe Mines, has had a storied career. But really importantly, Dan runs an engineering firm out of Idaho. And as our executive chair, he's been able to get us a lot of quick engineering work. Even more importantly, your shareholders and friends might have heard of a company called Chesapeake Gold. About a $600 million market cap, $2 billion in 2011. Dan's a founding director of Chesapeake Gold. Chesapeake Gold is only 90 kilometers away from this project, Los Reyes. So his 15 years of experience in the region is shortcutting a lot of circuits for us. We were able to get the 70 members of the local ejido, and that's the communal group that controls the surface rights in Mexico. We're able to get them in a room 2 days after we went public, and they all voted in favor of giving us instant access to the property and approval to build a mine.
Wow.
So,
well, that's also quite unusual. Super.
Yeah, a lot of things really developing here that are working out in our favor, and so that's why we're putting our money behind it. We really believe that we've got something. And I'll tell you, there's 530,000 ounces of gold there right now. It's wide open. There's only been 7 kilometers drilled of 17. There are guys out there that will tell you that this is a 1.5 million to 2 million ounce gold deposit. Sure, fair enough. We'll get there. We'll prove that later. Right now, we're going to put it in production. We're going to do it fast.
Make cash flow.
Make cash flow, and then give some of the cash flow back to shareholders, and then spend some on making it bigger and better. At 1.7 grams, it's twice the average grade of open heap leaches in Mexico. And there's a 3.4 gram starter pit that will pay back all capital in 6 months.
Whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
I suggest looking deeper. This is a diamond in the rough.
That's interesting. Super. So you want to start with open pit and then you move on with underground? Did I get that correct?
Yes and no. Our plan is an open pit. We're scheduling to do 4,000 to 4,500 tons a day, open pit, heap leach. We're not even going to produce our own gold doré bars in Mexico. We're going to hire contract miners to mine the ore, crush it, 2-stage crush. Then we take over. We're going to agglomerate it, put it on our leach pad, and run our own carbon recovery circuit. Then we're going to ship the carbon to Idaho to have it stripped for the gold and poured into doré bars. And that way we save several $1 million in the ADR plant, but more importantly, we avoid the security risks of pouring doré in Mexico.
Absolutely, yeah. Because of the concentrate, or let's put it that way, with the crushed ore, much easier to transport.
Much easier to transport, that's right. And we can do all that for about a $14 million capex.
Yeah.
So we start with
14
million. It's nothing. $14 million. It pays back in under 6 months.
Yeah.
And then once you get that going, and you know that your leach pad's commercial, and you're making cash flows, that's when you say, okay, let's give some back to shareholders in a dividend, and let's put some into making this bigger, better. So that's when you start exploring. We know we have 7 years of mine life now. This is one of those things where you start it with a 7-year mine life plan, and it's running 25 years later because you throw money back into exploration. And then you do other things, like you add a ball mill, a 500-ton-a-day ball mill, and now you process some of the higher grade chutes through the ball mill. There are some structures on the property that are a little too steep to open pit. But there's one structure I'm thinking of in particular called Mariposa. It's 75,000 ounces at 7 grams.
Wow.
You don't want to just throw that on a leach pad.
Yeah.
We want to run that through a ball mill,
Yeah.
and then a gravity circuit, collect the gold and the silver off the gravity, then agglomerate the pulp and throw it on the leach pad. That way you're still not having to build a tailings compound, but you're squeezing more gold out of the rocks. That's the trick.
Fantastic, I like that.
Yeah.
Last question. You said you have invested $3.5 million. So you are one of the largest shareholders, of course. Who else has skin in the game? Do you have already any institutions? Please give us an idea on that.
My board of directors, aside from me, own another 15% of the company. Minera Alamos, and that's who held the company in the past and is also building 2 other mines
which
in
we
Mexico.
know very well.
Minera Alamos has a 17% shareholding in the company.
Super.
And And then Commodity Capital out of Luxembourg has about a 7% stake. And Terra Capital, run by Jeremy Bond out of Australia, has a 7 or 8% stake.
Wow, so you're in pretty good hands.
And we got a couple big mining engineers out of the lower mainland Vancouver that have big stakes.
Super. Yeah. Like that. Fantastic. Well, Andy, thank you very much. It looks like a really promising story. And of course, we love to hear soon more. And yeah, please show us the results.
Super. Thanks very much, Jochen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Andy Bowering from Prime Mining, the president and CEO. And you heard it, over $8 million initially raised. And Andy put by himself $3.5 million up. This will be a beautiful gold production, quite fast from here, for approximately 18, maybe maximum 24 months. And yeah, with super shareholders, really interesting in Mexico. Makes absolutely sense. Check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from London.